Hello and welcome. My name is Pete Kidd, and I'm the Vice President of Compensation and Benefits for Sodexo in North America. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about an important change to the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act in the United States. This includes who this change affects and how, what we, Sodexo, are doing to comply, and what the immediate next steps are. Let's start by talking a little bit about what the Fair Labor Standards Act even is. The Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA, as it's more commonly called, has been in effect since 1938. The FLSA is a federal law that establishes national minimum wage, overtime pay and record-keeping requirements, as well as other labor standards for U.S. workers. These requirements and standards apply to all full and part-time workers in the private sector and in federal, state, and local governments in the U.S. Generally, minimum wage and overtime exemptions are based on how an employee is paid, what he or she is paid, and his or her job duties. It is intended to protect workers from unfair labor practices and to ensure adequate compensation for time worked. So what exactly is changing in 2016? The Fair Labor Standards Act is being updated this year, and all employers in the U.S. are required to comply with the new regulations. The 2016 updates specifically address the criteria used to determine an employee's eligibility for overtime pay. Today, executive, administrative, and professional employees earning an annual salary of less than $23,660, or approximately $455 per week, are automatically eligible for overtime. This is known as the salary threshold, and anyone paid below this threshold must be eligible for overtime. However, effective December 1st of 2016, executive, administrative, and professional employees with an annual salary of less than $47,476, or approximately $913 per week, will be automatically eligible for overtime. At Sodexo, we have a number of employees classified as exempt currently, but whose salary falls below the $47,476 salary threshold. This means we and other companies have to make a decision to stay in compliance. Either pay for overtime for employees who earn less than the threshold, or raise those employee salaries to the new salary threshold. Now let's look at who's affected by this change and how. To ensure Sodexo remains compliant, we conducted an assessment of jobs with employees earning less than the new FLSA salary threshold. These jobs were assessed by representatives from HR, legal, and dimension representatives as well to determine the appropriate job classification. A portion of the jobs with employees earning less than the new salary threshold will be reclassified to non-exempt. Base pay for these employees will remain the same, but now they will be eligible for overtime pay. In addition, full-time employees will remain benefits eligible, and part-time employees will remain benefits eligible through at least December of 2017. Other jobs with employees earning less than the new salary threshold will remain exempt from overtime pay. Employees in these jobs will see an increase in their salary to bring them up to the new salary threshold. These decisions were made with careful consideration to ensure compliance with the FLSA and support for Sodexo and our business operations. It's important to note, as this is going on, you may hear about ongoing legal challenges to this regulatory change. We are monitoring these challenges closely, and in the very unlikely event that there are any changes, we will notify you immediately. So what does this change mean for your business? One impact will be an increase in the number of non-exempt employees that you may be managing. Most managers already have non-exempt employees on their teams, and the same rules apply to these newly reclassified employees. Your role will be to enforce the policies and procedures for recording non-exempt work time and ensuring these employees follow these same policies and procedures. For reference, you can turn to Company Policy 217 for details on making sure non-exempt workers are paid for all hours worked. Other employees who remain exempt from overtime, but whose salary is now below the new minimum threshold, will receive a salary increase, as I mentioned earlier. This regulatory change may result in an increase in your labor costs, which certainly could impact your existing contracts. More information and resources will be coming to help you engage in conversations with your clients around these potential impacts. Here you can see a timeline of our key dates and communication activities. Effectively managing and communicating the impact of the new federal overtime rules is essential to supporting and engaging our employees. And we have a number of communications and resources planned to support you in this effort. First and foremost, we want to make sure leadership is aware of these changes and how it affects their teams. Once that is completed, we will begin communicating to managers with affected employees and providing them with tools to effectively message and manage this change within their team. This will include leveraging managers to help deliver formal announcements and facilitating one-on-one discussions with their employees. We will then reinforce this by communicating directly with affected employees and establishing reminders, particularly related to time reporting for newly non-exempt employees, to support this transition. Along with these direct communications, we will be providing links to job aids to help those employees correctly record their time. Lastly, guides will be made available to assist managers in communicating to clients and managing contract negotiations if applicable. In order for us to be successful, we need your help in driving this change among your affected employees. Please be on the lookout for additional FLSA communications in the coming days. See Company Policy 409 for more information on FLSA and additional detail. Support Sodexo's transition of specific jobs and/or individuals to non-exempt status. Please be sure that you are familiar with our Company Policy 217 that ensures non-exempt employees are paid for all hours they work. Also, to use resources available to help communicate this change to affected employees. And lastly, manage work allocation and staffing decisions to align with the new employee overtime eligibility. For additional resources to help you effectively lead this change, please be sure to visit Sodexo link and simply search on FLSA. There you'll find more information about the Fair Labor Standards Act, as well as talking points and FAQs to begin conversations with affected employees. Also, you can send any general FLSA questions you have to the USA Compensation Shared Services mailbox, and we'll be happy to support your questions. I want to conclude by thanking you for your time and thanking you for your support and leadership through this important change at Sodexo. Thank you.